Okay, so this one's interesting. Ghosts and airplanes. You know, we often think of ghosts and we think of, we were talking a little bit about this in the news segment. You know, we think about ghosts and we think of them hooked to some place in this world and they can't move on. So, you know, ghosts and airplanes seems...
It's not juxtaposition.
Contrary, right, yeah.
It's unusual, but people see, especially in Britain, people see ghost airplanes all the time. People see, there's this one base, it was actually an auxiliary base during World War II, and people see a Spitfire fly over this place on a fairly regular basis, and so much so that they can take down the numbers on it, the ID numbers. And Spitfires were, you know, such an iconic airplane, but there's only about 50 or so left in the world, and about half of them are flying. And so they're all accounted for, but, you know, the serial numbers they take off of this Spitfire that everyone keeps seeing over there, you know, were from a plane that crashed at this base, you know, many, many years ago. There's a really good story about, there was a plane in 1933, people in New York City heard this just this plane flying around the city during a snowstorm, as if it was looking for a place to land. And they, lots of people saw it. People were turning on their lights to kind of help it, you know, find its way and so on. But it disappeared. It never made radio contact. No planes were ever missing that particular night. No planes crashed. So just what this particular plane was, you know, who knows? And then the other favorite of mine is in 1972, an Eastern Airlines airplane crashed in the Everglades and killed about more than 100 people. And it seems beyond belief, but Eastern Airlines actually salvaged the aircraft and took parts from it and put it in other airplanes. And these planes that received these parts all of a sudden, you know, were haunted by the pilot and the engineer from the crew of this crashed plane. In fact, people who knew these gentlemen and who worked with them actually saw them on these other airplanes. And as the story goes, they finally had a seance in Boston, these Eastern Airline pilots and stewardesses and aircrew, and that kind of put an end to it. But even though Eastern Airlines said, you know, this is crazy that, you know, we haunted our other airplanes, they stopped this practice of salvaging parts from crashed airplanes and putting them into working ones.
Huh, that's wild. That's super interesting.
I know. I mean, who would think about that for a second? Just to save $1 or so, you're going to take the microwave from a crashed airplane or the rudder from a crashed airplane and put it in another airplane? It just doesn't seem like good business practice, and it turns out to be bad business practice for Eastern Airlines.
Yeah, absolutely.